It's a real treat for us now as we welcome one of our good friends to the show. On Australia Day, Carlotta was awarded a Member of the Order of Australia, and just this week, the glamorous one attended a ceremony where she was officially recognised. Carlotta, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo show.
Yes.
Hi, boys.
Oh, it's so good to finally have you here. I mean,
Long time. I thought you lived in the Simpson Desert. It took so long to get here.
Well, I've been
He's in
wanting
the
Carlotta
burbs.
to come on this show for a long time, and she could only do it if she came to the house. So she's just outside the studio/garage. Carlotta, what an amazing time for you to receive your AM.
Oh, finally.
It's amazing. And so on Tuesday, you actually had the presentation where you received it. How amazing was that moment for you?
I think it was the brightest they've ever had at Government House because the lovely little people who are in charge there, I think they're on the other side of the fence, and they were like, here.
I'm not even sure what that means, but it's the Member of the Order of Australia, and you had a fabulous time, as these photos show. It really,
Yes.
It's been a long time coming, as we said, but, you know, you've always struggled
No,
with
but it
acceptance.
wasn't just for me. Sorry to interrupt you, Rob. It wasn't just for me. It was for, I accepted the part on my entertainment side because, you know, I've been entertaining since the pyramids. But the other side of it was for my helping the gays over the
Yes.
years get more accepted. But as I did put up on Facebook this morning, I dedicated to all my mates out there that have fought behind the scenes but are not out in the limelight like me, and they deserve I said, this is for you as well.
That's
And
all
I
very
don't
lovely.
look, I'm being schmaltzy about that. It's true because
No, I understand
I've
that.
got mates that are still committing suicide, darling, and it's hideous.
I know, and look, and the work that you've done is amazing, and the work everyone has done is amazing. But it is our Tipsy Thursday, and I just want to raise my glass to you because you deserve this, and you really, you're bloody amazing, Carlotta. So cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Carol. Thank you.
Now, that's
I love your little drunk sessions. I love your drink, but I'm going to have a go at you, Robbo and Ben. Would you please start smiling? You're looking too miserable all the time. You've got beautiful teeth, Robbo. You don't get some smiling in it.
I'm sorry.
Every day I turn on, you're sort of like this.
It is true, Carlotta. I do apologise.
You were like when I was doing that shows on Channel 10 where I used to get into my earpiece. Carol, lift your chins or your 7 chins.
someone very
Who
smart
said
must
that?
have been
Not-
telling you that.
Did Rob say that? That's terrible. You're a national icon.
The other way.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shit. There we go. Yeah.
I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this new medium.
But Carlotta, to get serious for a moment, it's funny how you wrote off me saying congratulations earlier. When you spoke on the McKnight Tonight podcast, you did talk about the fact you still don't feel accepted. You know, you've got one of our highest honours. Do you feel accepted now?
Look, Rob, there's always going to be that out there that not totally accepted. It's always going to happen. Unfortunately, I'm probably too a sensitive person. I pick up on things. I pick up on. I can pick a fake person in 5 seconds, and I guess that's probably my fault. I'm not. Because of what's happened to me over the years, I think I don't have that trust. I can't get rid of that. It's a fault with me and I don't like it. But anyway, look, I live with it and that's it.
So, Carlotta, talking about that, you have been such a trailblazer. We recognise that. Finally, the government, the Queen, the big Queen, has recognised that. But when you go at home, so we see all your glitz and glamour. We love you for that. But when you go at home at night, do you have the feeling of? Do you feel pressure on you because you are such a trailblazer in the community? Is it hard to do that?
Yeah, it is. Look, Rob, what it is, show business is a very lonely business. You go on a high, like when I've recently been doing all the Spiegel tent tours for the festivals around Australia with my one woman show. And, you get on such a high, and that 2 hours out on stage, you're just so, in another world. But then all of a sudden, when you come off stage, all that glamour and everything just goes down like a big shutter.
And you've actually
Very lonely, very lonely. You listen to everyone going, "Oh, I love you," and blah, 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 and then you go home and close that door, and then that sparkle's gone. Any entertainer does that.
Yeah, Colour. I totally agree with you, and I totally understand where you're coming from. But aside from that kind of showbiz, people do look up to you. You are an icon. People look to you for inspiration. Do you feel that kind of energy? Do you feel that kind of that weight to be guiding, our community throughout the darkness?
Look, years ago, I suppose I was one of the only ones that you could go to because we were in the shows, and other friends of mine who were in show business could do it. Today, there is so much help out there, Rob, and it's just that. Look, I appreciate people saying that about me, but there are people behind the scenes, as I said before, that who are doing all this hard slogging of helping kids still come out of the closet. And I can only do what I can do. And I get letters, and I get people ringing me. I've got, I went through all that scene on the TV a few years ago where I had a go at about doctors treating young kids too early who wanted to go and be women. I said, wait till they become teenagers and their bodies have matured and they can make up their own minds. And I got so much hate thrown at me because the whole thing has changed. But it's changed because I grew up in a different era. And the era today is, this transsexual, whatever words they've got today, I'm just Carlotta. I don't put a brand on myself. I don't care what people think of me, a bloke, a girl, a woman, whatever. I'm just Carlotta. I'm a human being. And I think that's how we all should be treated. Our sexuality should come into it.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Carlotta. I want to ask you, though, our community receives a lot of hate and has received a lot of hate over years and years and years, but now it's very, very different. Now it's more targeted with social media. What was, obviously you received a lot of, hate before. Is it different now in this new world, or is it the same kind of stuff?
No, it's different. It's different because I was receiving hate from other transsexuals who were having because of things what I was saying. And I'm the first person to stick up with anyone from the gay community. Yeah. I will do it till the day I drop. But it blew me away because I thought, what have I said wrong? And apparently it was over something about. I said, I was running around with me. Something about me in a toilet or something. But it has changed. And I suppose, if you want to call me an old fuddy-duddy or whatever, but I'm not going to change
I don't think
views.
Anyone could call you an old fuddy-duddy. And the crazy thing about this is that you were the trailblazer. That was the word Robbo used. And people in this country who change genders and, get to be their true selves can thank you for being that trailblazer. So the idea that they would come after you, they don't have to agree with everything you say, and that's a fair society. But how dare they come after you like this? Look, I want to talk about the fact you've had a sold-out one-woman show, and it's been going great. You've now pulled the pin on your upcoming Sydney performances because of COVID-19, so that's having a huge effect on everything. But what I love, Carlotta, is that you're releasing these paintings that you've been doing, and people are buying your paintings, and this is going great.
It's amazing because, I always painted, when I was starting off in the business as I was a gay little boy working at David Jones and Mark Foy's, painting the sceneries in the windows and that. And that's where because I always drew. And I thought, what am I going to do sitting at home? Because here I am isolating since the 8th of March. So I pulled out all the paints and everything and started painting away. But I don't think it was a mistake. I started putting them up on Facebook. And next minute I've got galleries ringing me because everyone loved my cartoon ones.
Amazing.
Because I was doing things like... we had a fabulous club everyone used to go to, the Taxi Club, and I was doing drunk drag queens and funny faces and all that in the paintings, and they are hysterical. And everyone's writing into Facebook saying, "Oh, I know that. That's that person. Do you remember she was all pissed?" And all of a sudden, a gallery picked it up at Paddington, and then I'm doing an exhibition in February before Mardi Gras. Of all the paintings, I've sold 5 already, which is good. I thought, Mummy can make a bit of money instead of tap dancing. And then all of a sudden, I've got great news, which I'm going to drop the bombshell for you now. I'm saving it. They are writing a musical about me.
Oh, my God.
And
Brilliant.
I just got money from the government, finally, to help the writers write the musical.
Oh,
Wow,
brilliant,
so you've
Carlotta.
got a government-funded
Congratulations.
musical in your honour, Carlotta.
Well,
Wow.
they finally gave out some money to the arts.
Yep.
And then we had to we had to write in, they had to write in, and anyway, they chose my story because they must have loved it. Trevor Ashley, he's the main writer on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Brilliant.
we're doing, they're going to turn me into a musical. I'll probably be on a walker by the time it gets on stage. But
Now, it's interesting,
Brilliant
though,
work,
Carlotta.
That's brilliant.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? With all this, there's been a lot of discussion lately about who can play what, the whole blackface argument that's going on. But it's even been the case where they're saying, unless you're transgender, you can't play a transgender person. But
well, that's right. I cop flack for getting Jessica Mariah to play me in my movie. But the only reason I did back then to do that, because there wasn't a drag queen that looked like me when I was younger.
But that's the point, isn't it? That's the point.
Courtney Act was she auditioned for it, but they didn't want her at the time. But I thought, I think when they do the musical, it's going to have to done by 3 people. It'll be done as a little boy, and then me as Carlotta, and then me as an older Carlotta. And I think perfectly, Courtney Act would be perfect for me to play when I'm doing my, Carlotta younger days.
I tell you what, you should be playing yourself as the older Carlotta. No one can do you better than you.
No, thanks, darling. You know why I gave up TV?
Why is that?
Not only because I lost you, Rob, it's because I started looking at myself back. It's not beautiful for old boilers, I tell you.
I think
and
I'm not going
beautiful.
I'm not going in to get those bloody Maroubra lips, I'm telling you.
Carlotta,
you look beautiful, Carlotta.
You are a delight to look at. You are an absolute delight. But it was controversial, you getting Jessica Mariah, and you did cop backlash, but you just said today you couldn't do it.
Remember the writing into Channel 10 saying, oh, she should have used it, And I copped quite a bit of flack, but I've copped a lot of flack over different things over the years. I'm too strong a person. We're here for a short time, not a long time. And as I say to people, if they don't like it, tell them where to go.
Though you've been here a long time, Carlotta, just quietly.
But yeah, look, I want to ask you though, Carlotta.
Listen, Rob, you're going to catch up, honey.
Oh, look at the crow's feet there, Carlotta. He's already catching up very quickly.
I've got the bow coming tomorrow.
But Carlotta, I want to go back to Rob's point though. There is this big thing where if you're not part of the community, if you're not part of the ethnicity, if you're not part of the race, you can't play that character. We go back to Transamerica where Felicity Huffman played a transsexual, and she played it very well. But do you find that offensive, though? Do all roles need to be played by someone who belongs in that particular group?
Look, it depends on what the story is, and it depends on which way they're going. But, like everything, what's happened with the gay community is what's happened with the straights thing years ago, which I used to complain about, and I still don't believe in it. Political correctness has crept in.
Yeah.
And now in the gay scene, it's starting to be political correctness. Well, I'm sorry, you ain't going to change me.
That's why we love her. That's why we love her.
Change me. I don't care what you think. I'm 77 this year, and believe you me, I couldn't give a.
And you don't look a day over 82. You look amazing.
Your hairline's not looking good lately either.
That's true. That's true, actually.
Take that, Rob. Yes.
You know not to verbally take me on.
No, I know, but I like a little bit of sparring and then I'll move right back because you will beat me each and every time. Carlotta, thank you so much for coming on the show. You know we love you and adore you, and we could speak to you for another 3 hours, but we will wrap
I've got to learn to work these gadgets.
Yes, absolutely. I will get you back on soon, though. I promise you that. I will drag you up here.
I'm glad, Robbo. I'm glad your hair's not so puffy anymore, too.
I pushed it down for you before I came on, so I made sure.
You're a good-looking boy. You don't need it puffed up like an old melon.
Is that better?
All right, Carlotta, thank you for being on the Ben, Rob and Robbo show. We appreciate it.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Carlotta.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo show.